I hope everybody can able to see my screen. So let us start JavaScript today. So first of all, we need to understand what is JavaScript and why JavaScript. What is JavaScript and why JavaScript? So two important points we need to understand. Two important questions we need to have. That is, what is JavaScript and why JavaScript? JavaScript is browser scripting language. Browser scripting language, which is going to be using for give a functional process. Give functional process for a web page. Give functional process for a web page. That is basically JavaScript. And why JavaScript? To give interactions, and made dynamic web pages. We are using JavaScript. And inside the JavaScript, there are multiple concepts we have to remember. We need to learn. So basics of programming we should learn. So basics of programming means what? And one more thing, we have the HTML. On top of the HTML, we will be having CSS. On top of that, we will be having JavaScript. So JavaScript is going to be overlapping on top of the HTML and CSS. JavaScript is going to be overlapping on top of the HTML and CSS. For example, let me tell you, this is your HTML, guys. On top of the HTML, this is your HTML. On top of the HTML, basically, CSS is going to be overlapping. CSS is going to be overlapping. CSS is just for simple styles and decorations. CSS is going to be overlapping on top of the HTML. On top of the HTML and CSS, we will be having JavaScript. JavaScript is going to be overlapping on top of the HTML and CSS. And finally, all these three components are executing to the browser. All these three components are going to be executing the browser. Browser is nothing but we will be having something like a client-side technology. HTML, CSS, JavaScript are major pillars for the client-side part or client-side programming. Okay, so nowadays JavaScript is available in the backend also. That will be something like Node.js and Node.js and Express.js. But the major part of JavaScript is in the client side from so many years. But on top of the JavaScript, nowadays there are a lot of other libraries also got included, something like jQuery, something like Bootstrap, something like React.js, something like AngularJS, something like Vue.js, something like EXT.js, okay, something like Knockout.js. So there are multiple libraries. There are multiple libraries which are going to be available nowadays on top of the JavaScript. Okay, so let me write something now. What are the different kind of libraries which are going to be available nowadays? Okay, so on top of the JavaScript, we are having many libraries included. Okay, like jQuery, Bootstrap, React.js, AngularJS or Angular, Vue.js, EXT.js, Knockout.js, Ember.js, etc. But coming to the backend, so nowadays JavaScript available in backend also. JavaScript is available in backend development. So like Node.js, Express.js, like Node.js and Express.js nowadays, JavaScript is available inside the backend. So we have the front end, we have the backend completely, which is going to be available in the JavaScript. So try to understand. Now JavaScript is not only for the client side, JavaScript is available for the backend also, server side also. And the basic programming, what is the basic programming we should go for the JavaScript? What are the different kind of concepts we need to learn in the JavaScript? Something like a variables, something like operators, something like functions, something like loops, conditions. All these are data types. All these are basic concepts. Any programming language you take, not only the JavaScript. You take a Python, you take a C++, you take a C#, you take Java, you take PHP. Any programming language you go, these kind of basic procedures we have to follow, like variables, how to create a variable, how to store the data, what are the different kind of operators like arithmetic operator, assignment operator, relational operator, okay, conditional operator, lot of operators we can see. And coming to the functions, how to create a function, how to store a block of the code inside the function, how to call the function. So we learn a lot of concepts in the functions. Then we go to the loops. Loops are going to be a very important thing, like whenever you have something like iterations, while loop, do while, for loop, for in, all these things we can go for. Coming to the conditions, if condition, if else if, switch. So there are number of conditions, whether it is going to be true or false, we have to check. There we can go for the conditions. Coming to the data types, every programming require data types. Like in other programming languages, data types are going to be declaring with like int, float, char, double, and all. But in JavaScript, there is a global variable called a var keyword. In modern JavaScript, that is different. In modern JavaScript, we go for the let keyword and const keyword. But coming to the normal JavaScript, we have the var keyword. So that's all enough. The basic programming concepts we need to get understand for the JavaScript. Without basic concepts, we can't go for something like. So let us discuss one by one all the concepts of JavaScript. And before going to all this concept, I just want to give you some clear picture how to integrate JavaScript for HTML. So very important. So in the last class CSS, we already know how to integrate CSS to the JavaScript. How to integrate CSS to the HTML we know. But now we should understand how to integrate JS for HTML. So there are multiple ways to integrate the JS to HTML. One is the inline JS, and one is the internal JS, and one is the external JS, and fourth one is the browser console, where you can see the browser console. But this is not like integration. This is just like checking JavaScript, and where one more online editors you can able to do the practice on JavaScript, everything. Okay, let us go one by one. First, I will go with inline JS. How inline JS will be? Inline JS is basically element specific JavaScript. Element specific JavaScript. Element specific JavaScript. Element by element, I need to integrate the JavaScript. That is basically called inline JavaScript. And mostly we use events in inline JavaScript. In inline JS. Okay, so how to use this event? Suppose, for example, h1 on click is equal to some function I can write like. So, for example, when I click on h1, I need to show some alert box, and that alert box should be something like this. Alert h1 clicked. So this is the way of going with inline JS. Inline JS is going to be extended with something like events. You are going to be specific events you can provide for the element. Okay, and this is the inline JS. Mostly people are going to be writing inline only events. Then second one is internal JS. What about internal JS? What is the benefit of the internal JS? This is the page specific JavaScript. Page specific JavaScript. So what is the page specific JavaScript and why we use this one? So how to write a page specific JavaScript? Something like a script tag we have to write. Script tag open and script tag close. Script tag open and script tag close. Inside this, I need to write some JavaScript code. Whatever the JS code you have, that JS code you can provide inside the script tag. So, and one more thing, one more point, important point you should remember is anyway, always the script tag will be available or need to place. Always this particular script tag need to place before HTML close, before HTML close, or before body close, before HTML close, or before body close, before body close, before body close. I will tell you how to write this particular script tag. For example, this is your HTML tag, and inside the HTML, for example, you will be having a body content. You will be having the body content and body file. Yeah. Inside the body content, end of the body, you can write this script. End of the body, you can write this particular script. So better you can place the script tag end of the body. End of the body. This is a better way of writing JavaScript, internal JavaScript. Coming to the external JavaScript, how to work with external JavaScript. External JavaScript is very, very simple. This is the application level JavaScript. Application level JS. And how this could be, we need to create a JS file like this, and we need to write a lot of script here. We need to write a lot of script here. And coming down, now we need to create a HTML file, file.html. Inside the file.html, I need to access the external script. How to access the external script, guys? Script src, and we need to access the file.js. You need to access the file.js. This is the way of this is the way of writing a external JavaScript. Very simple, straightforward. There is no confusion over there. And this is also same procedure. This is also end of the body. Better you place a script tag end of the body. Yes. So this is external JS, and which is the better one? External JS is the better one. Why? Because we can write a complete JavaScript throughout the application one single page with the JS file. Extension is very, very important. The .js we need to change. Please remember this one. And coming to the one more concept, like browser console, how to work with the browser console, how to work with online editor. So browser console, we have to go with the browser, check the console of the browser, console window of the browser, check the console window of the browser, check the console window for the browser, and you have to write JavaScript. Write a JavaScript. This is you can search for this browser console. I will show how to open browser console and all. And one more is the online editor. What we can do with online editor? When we open online editor, when we want to open online editor, internet must. When we want to open online editor, internet must. Without having internet, we can't able to work with online editor. So that is a very simple way. I will show each and everything one by one. I will show each and everything one by one. Let me save the file. And our class is 11 p.m. UI. And let me create the folder. This will be 3 by 11. JavaScript. This is something like nodes. I hope all the files are available in the GitHub. I will share the GitHub link today. And the next one, saving is, this is my inline.js, inline.js.html. See, every file should be HTML file only. Just try to understand that. And let me open the body content. Inside the body, whenever the body is loading, I want to load an event called onload event. Onload alert body loaded. Body loaded. Body loaded. So that's it. Whenever the body is loading, automatically you can able to see my alert box came. JavaScript is working fine. JavaScript is working fine. Then I will write a h1. Then I will write h1 tag. H1 style background color red. Color of the thing is white. And the text align center. And this is h1. Something like I want to write a full stack. Full stack. So this is my h1 now. And on top of the h1, what I want to do is, I want to write an event called on click event. On click is equal to alert. Alert, I want to write something like h1 clicked. See, I'm trying to giving two events now. One event on body load, one event on h1 click. So browser is already running. So just launch the browser one more time. So first alert body onloaded, and the second alert when I click on the h1. When I click on h1, h1 click, something is going to be happening, guys. Okay, so this will be inline.js. This will be inline.js. The next JS will be internal.js. Internal.js. How to work with internal.js? Internal.js should be with the script tag open and script tag close. Suppose something like alert. Okay, inline.js. Inline.js. Sorry, internal.js is loading. Internal.js is loading. That's it. Enough. Okay, so open a default browser. Internal.js is loading. I'm not writing concepts. I'm just trying to integrating JavaScript to HTML. Try to understand it. I'm not writing JavaScript concepts right now. I'm trying to integrating multiple ways of JavaScript into the HTML page. So the first one, inline.js, we already done. Element by element, we are writing JavaScript. Internal.js is a very simple one. We are actually writing a script tag, and the script is going to be having a lot of alerts, whatever you want, you can place it. Now let me go with external JavaScript. Let me go with external JavaScript. External underscore JavaScript. External JavaScript.html. Okay, so for external JavaScript, what I want to write, first of all, I need to create a new JS file. I need to create a new JS file, file.js. And inside the file.js, I'm writing alert box. Alert. Okay. Alert JS. External JS is loading. External JS is loading. Finally, in coming to the external js.html, I want to access that. How to access that? How to integrate that? Script src. Script src, I need to integrate that with the file.js integration. File.js integration. Now, finally, what is going to be happening? So when I open the default browser, external JS is loading. Yes, I got it. External JS is loading. It means external JavaScript is completely loading to the HTML content, HTML file. So this is the external JavaScript, and this one is the inline JavaScript. This one is the internal JavaScript. This one is the external JavaScript. External JavaScript means we have to create the JS file. That JS file can be integrated or included for the any kind of HTMLs in your complete application. This can be accessed only within application. This JS file, which is going to be accessed only within application, throughout the application, not into the another application. not into the another application. With this application, the contained folder, whatever you have, suppose you are developing Amazon application, complete Amazon is having a one JS file. You're developing a Flipkart type of application, you'll be having a one JS file for the throughout Flipkart. Like that, you can create your JS file. So that's very simple. In real time, people will do the external CSS and external JS only. And one more thing, we will be having. So last one, browser console. How to work with the browser console? I will show. How to work with the browser console? I will show. Let me create a new program which is going to be having browser console JS. Browser console. How to work with the browser console? I will show now. Browser console.html. So open browser console. Open browser console to check JS. Open browser console to check JS. Okay, let me right click on this and open in default browser. And I have the browser now. And let me go with the inspector here. Go to inspect. Go to inspect and go to the console. Here you will be having the browser console. So what I need to do, basically right click and inspect. Right click, inspect, then click on console window. Click on console window. That's it. This is actually the for Chrome, but other browsers also mostly the procedure is same. You try with that. But I'm going with the Chrome now, and I have the console here. And let me write some alert box here. Alert. Okay. So what is happening with this enter? So what happened with this enter? When I click on enter button, automatic alert box came, and I can just play with this console. So you can write like x is equal to 10, y equal to 20, and x plus y something. So you play with the console. You just play with the console, whatever you want and however you want. That is the browser console. The last concept is something like online editors. So what are the different kind of online editors which are going to be available? Let me show that. Suppose the best editor is jsbin.com. You can just go with the jsbin.com, and where you can go for HTML. I just want to switch off. Only open the JavaScript and write the JavaScript here. Alert. Okay, so alert. I'm writing some okay button here. I'm writing some okay here, and that's it. So whenever I'm writing something, automatically it is showing that. So it is having some alert box. I don't want to write alert. Suppose, for example, I'm writing a JavaScript, plain JavaScript, guys, where x equal to 0, where 10, where y equal to 13, and where z equal to x plus y, where x equal to 10, where y equal to 13, where z is equal to x plus y. So when I give the x plus y, I want to print the x plus y. Document.write. Document.write set. So don't worry about the document.write. Later I will discuss about the document.write, how to work with the document.write, all these things. So document.write is basically writing some content on top of the browser. Writing some content on top of the browser is the document.write. So slowly I will let you know how document.write is going to be working for you. Okay, so literally this is very simple, straightforward. Document.write is something like jet. So I got it. So this is the way of writing different kind of JavaScripts. This is the way of writing different kinds of JavaScript. So hope you will get understand how the things are going to be happening with different kinds of JavaScript. And later we will discuss some other concepts like we will go through the next level. We will go through different kind of concepts like how to write alert box, and what is the alert method, and how to write a console.log, and how to write document.write, how to write document.write. The next concept is how to debug application, and we will go through the levels the next level of JavaScript is going to be working with a lot of concepts, guys. Okay, I will tell you how to work with the variables, data types. Then I will go with the loops, conditions. Then I will go with the operators. What are the different kind of operators? Operators, yeah, operators. Then we will go through the different kind of events, how to create event, how to add event, all these things we will discuss. And we will go with the date functions, we will go with the math functions, we will go with the random functions, and we will go with the timer function, and we'll go with the timeout function. We'll go with the string methods. We'll go with the array methods. We go with the object methods. We will go with the JSON data handling. We'll go with the XML data handling. And we go with the browser accessibility or browser related functionalities, browser related JavaScript. See, the kind of JavaScript, the total JavaScript is basically dividing into the three parts. One is the DOM architecture, one is the SOM architecture, one is the BOM architecture. Okay, DOM nothing but a document object model, how to work with a document level, that is a document object model. And one is a SOM architecture, CSS object model. And one is a BOM architecture, browser object model. So a lot of concepts we have to discuss with the JavaScript and browser object model. DOM level document object model, SOM level CSS object model, handling with CSS, handling with document, all these things we will see. And browser object model, how to give this browser object model. And after the concepts of this and all, inside the JavaScript only, I will go with a lot of after events. We'll go with attribute manipulation. CSS manipulation. See, a lot of things we will do, lot of JavaScript concepts we will do. So mostly it will take next 10 days. Next 10 days, completely we are working with the JavaScript. Next 10 days, completely we are working with the JavaScript. Yes. Still